Christopher. According to polls done by the CSHS yearbook last year in an election year, over 50% of the population of our high school would have voted for Donald Trump in the presidential election. I find this to be appalling. Donald Trump was nothing but a rhetorical nightmare for us that study rhetoric on a daily basis in English class. The man used no sense, and he got what he wanted by establishing a massive amount of ethos. It was incredible to see what he had to do. But what shocked me the most was his stances on climate change. I mean, it was insanity. The man simply denounces the fact that the climate is changing due to man. And he blames it on who? His favorite target, the Chinese, or Hillary Clinton, or North Korea and Kim Jong-un. Those sort of things. It's insurmountable, the evidence against Donald Trump right now, at this time in history. For instance, climate.nasa.gov. They have an entire page, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, mind you, the people that deal with the atmosphere on a daily basis. These people have come out saying, and I quote, "Scientific evidence for warming of the climate system is unequivocal." That's a fancy word for saying there's no thing on this earth that says it is not changing. Let me bring up a graph for you, and I've got this right here. For centuries, atmospheric carbon dioxide has never been above the line of 300 parts per million in the atmosphere. As of 1950, our parts per million has skyrocketed. The current level, we've got approximately 420 parts per million of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. That is an increase of over 500% since when this Earth started, since 400,000 years ago. That is an increase of that much. And yes, you look at the graph and you see you see spikes and you see falls, and that's where those people get their evidence. But what they didn't realize is that in the past 1,000 years alone, in that past 1,000 years alone, we have crossed the insurmountable line. We have crossed that line of over 300 parts per million, and we have crossed it so much by a percentage that we have, as scientists, we've introduced ourselves into a new epoch. The Anthropocene epoch is the age of humans. It's solely based around the fact that we've got the climate changing. We have it changing. We are the ones that make it change. Not China, not North Korea, not Hillary Clinton. We, as the citizens of the world, have induced climate change. It's an insurmountable fact. What we can do to stop it is very, very, very broad. I recall, as a child, growing up in a liberal household, my climate change had never been one of those shadows of a doubt in my mind. I always knew that it was happening. I never imagined that other people didn't know that it was happening because it wasn't brought up until I grew a vested interest in politics. However, we would go and we would clean up the Roanoke River on a daily basis. On a weekly basis, rather. We would do that. Why? Because we know that these little things to affect the environment are going to help. Building pipelines, do you think that's going to help, really? Hiring all that manpower, fracking for gas that releases more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere? I don't think that's a good thing. We tried that before, and it's only brought us over that line. I'll give you credit. We have tried to stop a few things. We've removed DDTs from our aerosol cans. Maybe the hole in the ozone layer won't get so big anymore. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because that hole is there, and we can't fix that. Why? Because we are the ones who put it there in the first place. I think that we as a world, we need to join together, and we need to really think about what we're doing with climate change. Thank you so much.